Paul Greengrass, the quick cuts, the not knowing where you are in a fight, not knowing what's going on in the fight. I think the audience is really stepping away from that type of viewing of action sequences now. So even though we've injected a little bit of the fast cut and like the punching in every now and again, is we've kind of taken a step back. So we did some really nice camera moves where we would sweep through and sweep around as the fight's barreling towards us. We would move out the way so we could see it going on, but we're not a part of it. We had all the actors roughly from the word go, like the second week in prep. So we had them for like 6 to 8 weeks rehearsing all their action, and as the show went on, they just kept coming in to learn more and more and more. So Jeremy, we had him train in all different types of martial arts. We had him training in Muay Thai, boxing. We had him training some traditional martial arts. Because you got to think of the era that his character was based in was 1973, was in the 70s, when not many people were too clued up on the vast martial arts that were over there. It was very Japanese orientated with a few other Southeastern martial arts in there. So we tried to incorporate everybody's era and location to what their fighting style would be. Jeremy was more traditional with a little bit of Western style boxing with a few solid blocks from martial arts, from like traditional karate. We had Petra, who he was fighting, was a little bit more of the Russian, Sistema, Spetsnaz, all that kind of. Brian, we stuck with more of a brutal, almost like an ice hockey style fighter that was just a brawler, which is what was evident in there. He had a few like destructions where there was one shot where he does an elbow destruction and a hammer fist. We threw a little bit of that in, but then Hooju, because she's Korean, we incorporated a lot of Taekwondo, Hapkido from her like general area for where she would have been trained. So obviously we had a stunt double cross the buildings. We did that for real. Which I think is a very iconic moment in that episode. Something that's very rarely seen on TV. The car chase we do in the episode is when Tara's character goes and rescues General Kwon's daughter, saying, hey, there's going to be some guys coming after you. Them guys do come after her while she's driving to get her to the embassy. So they cut her off, give her the mean mug, and they're like, hey, we've got to get out of here. So we have this high octane chase through Paris, lots of skids, lots of crashes, lots of near misses, somebody getting shot through the back window, which we actually devised a rig that we could do that all in one shot. So the guy gets shot through the window, and we had a telescopic camera on a trailer behind that punched through the window as it broke, and then went on to Tara and the guy that was going to shoot her. She flicks it in, she dips the brake, and she gets the car under the Range Rover, which then causes it to flip. It bites on the back wheel, and then that's when you get that double flip. So we rehearsed that. We prepped it. We worked out the weight of the cars before the cages went in, after the cages went in, how much pressure we needed to be, how long the cannon needed to be so that we could safely flip it in the environment we were going to do it, because we're going to do it on a narrow street. We had bumper cars on the side, just in case. Bumper cars are cars that we can wreck, so just to protect the buildings. Measured the length to see how much we needed to get up to speed, and then if we needed to elongate that possible. We recreated the whole street on a runway, which you can see on the footage. Once they flip, we land, we measure the distance of how far they traveled, distance they separated, or if not, they stayed together, which ideally they would do. And then we would then try and replicate that in another test, and then we took it to the streets. Obviously, like, tensions were high because, there's cameras, you only want to do it once. Yeah. You never want to crash a car twice.